All right, everyone. Welcome to this week's ALG call. I'm calling you today. My name is Jens, calling you from actually my home office in Denmark, and there's a lot of things going on right now in the company. This is why Kenny cannot be on this call. He is actually in Stockholm at the moment, involved in some meetings relating to the upcoming 100 days. Now, I know you heard a lot about, it's coming. You heard a lot about the next 100 days. So what is the next 100 days? Well, the next 100 days has 100 days. And this is, you will see gradually how things are unfolding. One of the first things that really happened was the PIGS campaign, or the cargo drop, that we saw, very, very efficiently promoted, and really was a testimony to the extreme success of Planet IX. And Planet IX to us is really a testimony to the business model. And this is something that I cannot stress enough, because I've had calls with a few people, and the concern is, well, is everything now Planet IX? Is it Planet IX? Jens, you're talking so much about Planet IX. And there's a very specific reason for that. Obviously, I think it's an awesome project, but that is not the reason why I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it from a proof of concept standpoint, meaning this really validates, it proves that the business model is not only just working, but it's actually conquering. The story that Planet IX has to tell the world is really the story of Crowd1. Because as they entered into the market, they were already market leading. Now we are retelling the story of Crowd1, and we're doing this in simple steps as we are moving forward. And you will see this, a little bit of a sneak peek here today, where I'm going to take a bit of a content. I'm going to explain to you as leaders why it is that way. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of a business presentation. Please bear in mind, it's not going to be the final slides you're going to see, but what you're going to see is a little bit of the build. It's a little bit of the argumentation. It's a little bit of the illustration of what Crowd1 is. But let me talk a little bit more about the company updates here. Right now, there are preparation ongoing for recording of the 3-year anniversary of Crowd1. So 3-year celebration, that is a huge milestone. To many people, it may not sound like much, but if you look at the industry, 3 years is actually a very, very important milestone to reach, because simply when you reach 3 years, you are separated from the masses. What means is that the masses are not making it 3 years of business before they're out of business. Here's another very interesting thing. When you look at the companies that made it past the 3 years and that really went on to become legendary companies, and you look at the leadership of those companies that may be 10, 15, 20 years old, and you look at who are the top leaders, and you go back in time and you see when did they actually join the company. The reality is, and statistics are very clear about this, that they joined between the 3rd and the 5th year. So if that's true, then we've done an awesome test, and now moving into really the time when everything is proven and when leaders are beginning to come on board. Now, one thing that I will like to start with here also is that there are really movements going on out there. And this awesome lady, Carmen Ma, has qualified for Senior President 3-star. So gentlemen around the world, you have seen how the women are starting to really conquer this company, and how they are really reaching the highest ranks, and how their passion and their leadership has inspired so many. Carmen Ma is no different than the others. She's inspiring a lot of people. Carmen has been going through a lot of changes, but always adapting to the changes, and always made sure that she was of use to the change. What do I mean with of use? Meaning, when changes are coming, you have two options. You can basically sit down and say, well, I don't like the change. I don't know what to do with it. Or you can ask yourself, what's my role? How can I help? How can I be of service to my organization? And that's what we're seeing with the top leaders here. So a big, big congratulations to our new Senior President, 3-star Commonwealth out of Canada. Keep leading the way. I have a very strong feeling that we will soon be having you at a recognition again, Carmen, because you will probably very soon also hit the next rank. So congratulations. What this tells us is simply that there are so many areas where people are moving. And Carmen really understood to use the PIC promotion. She understood to use the current promotions to really elevate her business, to position herself. When we talk about positioning, what it means is simply this. Over the course of the next 100 days, you've heard it from Kenny, you've heard it from Jonas. There are a lot of stuff coming your way, whether it's full companies, whether it is products or services, whether it is updates to the back office, making everything more agile, or even being a new business presentation and some starter trainings that we're working on. Everything is coming your way. As leaders, I want to tell you a little bit of the psychology and a little bit of the background of this project of developing a new business presentation, which is basically my area, and also the starter trainings. When doing this, the goal here is to have a simple psychology, a simple road ahead. The goal is to talk to people in a way where stuff becomes logic. So you have to decomplex the complex, make it simple, speak in a language that people can understand, and not overcomplicate the process. So you will probably have your business presentations being filled with even more information. And what we would encourage you to is sometimes hold a little bit back on the information that you are sharing with people, but not in the sense that you should not tell it. You should just find the right timing for when to share your information. And in other words, when you are presenting the business, you got to ask yourself, what's the most important thing? You talking or the person listening? Well, you can argue if you don't say anything, the person listening would not hear anything. So of course you are important. But since you're the one coming with the message, you are forced to begin with accepting how much information can a new person really consume. How can you, in the shortest possible time and with the shortest possible words, give me as the one listening the best feeling of having understood what you're doing and understood what I am supposed to do. See, the key here in presenting any business is we have to make people see it in a way that they feel they can do it. What am I talking about? Well, I think everyone on this call knows that billions are made with oil. Now, billions are made with diamonds as well. So how come we're not involved when we know that billions are made? The simple explanation is most of us, at least I don't, know how to make money with oil. I don't know how to make money with diamonds. I can't see myself making any money with it. So I'm not really into it. I'm not really looking at it for real. I'm noticing it. If you want people to look at your business, not just notice it, they need to understand it. So the build of the new presentation will start with an agenda. The reason why we have the agenda is to show people what it is we want to talk to them about. If we don't tell them what they are about to see, two things will happen. Number one, they are going to feel that there's no end in sight, meaning they don't know when you are done talking. They don't know when we have gone through all the material. Number two, They don't know what to look for. And it's very, very often a good idea to think of yourself as a tour guide when you are presenting a business. Because if you tell me what to look for, chances are going up by 1,000-fold that I will notice exactly these things. Sorry. So here, for the agenda, we will start by telling them that we have an innovative business model. We're working in exploding markets. We have a proven concept, and we have an unmatched opportunity. These are the 4 elements that we want them to have a look at in the beginning. You can also use this as a pre-closing. You can use this as an invitation. You might say, hey, Magnus, if I could show you an innovative business model in exploding markets with a proven concept and unmatched opportunity, would you have 15 minutes for me to show you this? If you are inviting Magnus this way, Magnus will have heard you, he will have agreed to it, and you then start your business presentation exactly the same way. Something happens magical to Magnus. He will recognize what you invited him for. He will see that it is matching with what you said. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to bring clarity to what we are doing. I know that for many people out there, there are long business presentations, and it shouldn't really take more than 5-10 minutes. This presentation will take longer because I'm explaining to you what the background is. But we have too many times seen people getting lost in the different product partners or in the different projects that we are presenting. Some people are going way deep into life trends, talking about traveling and opportunity and savings that you can have. And if not, you can play with this, Fox look-alike, and it's an awesome thing called Mixter. And we bought 10 of them, and they are running around on stage. It's really, really awesome. They start explaining so many things that confuses people. After that, they talk about Planet IX. We also have Planet IX. Oh, what's Planet IX? Planet IX is the whole world, but only in cookies, small cookies. If you have cookies and you connect the cookies, you can have an NFT. You like NFT? Have you heard of NFT? Very, very good. We clean up the world, not the real world, but in there, and we teach people. You see, we are diving into different projects too fast, and we are confusing people. What we need to do is make it clear to the one we're talking to. What is it that's going on in the market, and what is it that we do? So let's start with a simple, traditional business incubator, because in an essence, that is what you are doing. You are a business incubator. When somebody asks you, what do you do? Well, we launch businesses on a global scale. It sounds a little bit more cool than just saying, well, we are involved in this thing, Crowd1, where we have all these different projects. No, that's not what you're doing. The essence of what you're doing is you are introducing businesses and products to a global market. That is something that people can understand. That's something they can relate to. Later on, when they have accepted it, they can learn more. See, the traditional way of doing this is you have a product or an idea. You have some people, and all they need is just some funding, and they need some knowledge. So they need some money from an investor, and they need maybe some legal advice. Maybe it's some marketing advice that they need, whatever knowledge it takes to really bring a business to a market. So if you have the right product and you can convince the financial people to add the funding, you can acquire the knowledge, you can launch a business to the market. But after that, it's really just hoping. You got to hope that the market will take it. If you look at it from an investor standpoint, they are betting on you when they are putting money in a project. They bet that the market will accept it. We are different, and this is very, very important to understand. We also have products and ideas, businesses that are contacting us. Today, we have funding. We have the knowledge in-house. We have a whole legal team. We have a huge creative marketing team, but we have the element that the others don't have. We also have the customers. With us, businesses are able to grow in the first month in a very safe environment, but not a small one. Remember the size of Crowd1. And this is where we come in. And that's why we have this success. So when you talk to people, it needs to become obvious to them that if you have both the funding, the knowledge, the idea, and the customers, you are already a success. Now, if you look at this slide, think about it. The first negative person will say, well, you're a success. It's easy to write, but how do I know that's true? That's when Planet IX comes to play. That's when you take that and you use that for people to really see, look at what I'm telling you. This last summer, only like 7 months ago, nobody even was signed up with Planet IX. It had a pre-launch, a beta launch with us where we could just sign up, nothing we could see. And we grew with them. We developed their product. We developed their customer service. And in November, 4 months later, they introduced themselves to the public market already as being a market leader with more than 500,000 people registered. They have a huge Discord group of people interacting with them. The competition did not know where they came from, but certainly they were there because of our unique business model. When you look at Crowd1 and you talk about the proof of concept, I think this slide is very, very important. Let's not be unreal. We are leaders here. There are people who had good and there are people who had not so good experience with Crowd. The reality is that Crowd1 has changed a lot since the beginning. In the beginning, it was a vision. It was an idea. So what was really to come first? All of the greatest products or all of the greatest organization? You know, this is something that grows with each other. The vision and the idea of Jonas took off like crazy in the first year, so much so that no company had ever grown that fast before. Does that mean that the products just grew with it immediately? The answer is no, it did not. Things take time. In the second year, the company invested massively in building a service organization to service the momentum of the crowd, a service organization to ensure that product deals were struck, a service organization to improve contact with the company. If you have been with the company for more than a year and you look back a year ago, we were talking about customer service. They don't reply. Today, Crowd1 has the most awesome customer service, but it doesn't come overnight. It is about recruiting them. It is about getting the right people in. As leaders, you got to make time your friend, because if you only take out a blink shot of any given situation, you will only look at that little narrative. You will only look at that little space and time, and you will miss out on what's really happening. Halfway into 2021, an investment company was founded, and its first project was Planet IX. Its first project. This was the first time the company could say, yes, we believe in this. Yes, we're going to invest in this. Yes, we're going to take this out to the market. And what a success it has been. Now, the question is, was this totally foolproof? No, it was not. There are things that could be optimized. But what does that mean for you? It simply means you will be better. We will be stronger with the next launch. And there will be lessons learned from that one and growing into the next one. But what really, if you want to show Crowd1 today, you got to sort of show this, because Crowd1 of the beginning, Crowd1 3 years ago, and Crowd1 today are two very, very different companies. And the difference is in ability. The crowd is much bigger. The company is much bigger. The lessons are much more. The statistics are able to be worked on and able to be applied to make better and more informed decisions, the company has much more ability, has a much more educated leadership, and this simply makes it very much more attractive. Another proof of concept, when we talk to people, it's important to let them know that they are not the first ones in. Already in the first 3 years, millions of influencers have joined the business. People have made money literally all over the world. At the same time, we have an expanding global presence. Stockholm, Dubai, we're opening up in Singapore now. We have Spain. These are just raw slices. They are not designed for you. It's just to give you an idea of where we're going. We want to make it very simple to join the business. We want to make it very easy to join the business. And we want people to have simple pictures that they can see and that they can understand. I'm taking out a few slides here because I don't want to show you the full thing, but it's going to end up with an unparalleled opportunity. While other companies are profiting only from the compensation plan, we are different. Crowd1's compensation plan is basically a zero-sum game. What does that mean? It simply means that if Crowd1 is not really making its money from the compensation plan, they are able to pay out more money than any other company that would make their money from the compensation plan. The real profit and value comes from the success of the businesses and the products we launch. What does that sentence tell us? It simply tells us that there is a team now. There is an investment company working to invest in the best, most scalable business opportunities out there. There's a professional services company making sure that whatever the investment company decides to invest in, all the legal, all the compliance, all the marketing is done in a way that the crowd can start developing, massaging this investment, growing it in numbers, growing it in experience, and in that process, growing it tremendously in value. What subsequently happens is this. Crowd1 will offer it to the public market, and the public market will start consuming, will start taking it over. And as this is happening, as a Planet IX is going into the public market, being driven by that, 1 year from now, you'll be able to look back. 2 years from now, you'll be able to look back and say, we incubated that company. That was us. There will no longer be a connection between Crowd1 and Planet IX in that sense, because it's going to be a company that you launched. And that's where the power and that's where the dynamics is. I hope this sneak peek gave you a little idea of what we're working on. We're working on similar simple illustrations of a starter training, how to get started. And we're working on a lot more with the entire user journey of the platform. Now, I wanted to remind you also about the Epic promotion and the upgrade for free rank booster. The Epic promotion is still ongoing, and that's very important that you know that. There was some confusion about that with the ending of the Golden 4 and the Golden 8, but this is still ongoing to the end of the month. For existing members with gold packages or higher, this add-on plus is for you. If you are gold, you can become a gold plus for the $199. You know the drill of these promotions. They will run until the end of the month. And you can have the subscription until the 1st of June. So this is really something that you need to take into consideration, because when you are looking at these things right now, the loyalty points will come majorly into play. You will understand it. You will see what you can use them for. The rank booster you need to use to position yourself. The higher the rank you have, the more spread you have on your business, well, the more you will profit, the more you will be able to impact the market when all of the launches are rolling out. There are things that I can unfortunately not tell you at this call, but I am very, very certain that both Kenny and Jonas are listening in. They are making sure I'm not saying too much, and they are really getting warmed up to show you everything that the company has been preparing. What I would like from you guys is to just drop a message to your upline and just give some feedback on the business presentation of this call. Did it make sense to you? Was its logic? Was some of the dynamics simple enough? We will have a full training for you when we introduce the full business presentation for you to understand it, for you to get acquainted with it, and for you to also influence it, because we want you to have the simplest, the fastest, and the best tools in the industry. With that said, make sure to make everything out of today. Whenever you are inspired, whenever there's anything you want to do in life, there is a very, very simple rule. Ideas dies. Ideas die very, very fast. So if you have an idea, if you have something you said, I'm going to move on this, you have something that you want to do, the golden rule is you have 60 seconds. I did not say 60 days or 60 minutes. You have 60 seconds where you need to do something to move it. Whether you need to sit down and just write down a name of a person you want to contact, whether you have something for the next event that you have, whether you want to talk to a leader to set up a call for your group, whatever you want to do, you have 60 seconds after the idea pops up in your mind until it must become into the first action. Even writing something down is the first action. And then make sure to follow up on that. I wish you all the success you deserve, and I want to thank you for listening in. Stay tuned. There's more to come. Have an awesome weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.